What's going on, guys? So today's going to be kind of a review, but actually realistically it's just going to be showing off a custom I did, and it is going to be a custom Flame Toys Attack Mode Prime. Now you guys have seen the teasers, some people have seen the actual photos of it and stuff like that, but basically I started out with a normal Attack Mode Prime, like one of these we saw quite a bit ago, which I did custom paint, and then I did this, and there you go. So basically I turned it into an Ultra Magnus, and of course if you don't know, Ultra Magnus in some context turns out to be Optimus Prime's brother. Inside the big old Magnus armor, he is just a white Prime. Sorry, I had to move lights out of my way here. This is the first review I've done in a little bit, but basically I've coated him all in white, and for those who don't know, actually painting something that was red white is not easy. In fact, it took multiple coats of primer, including one that got so heavy, as you can sort of see here, if I can catch the light. Yep, you can see the off-color bit there. That's actually where the plastic melted through the paint. In fact, this whole back section here is off color for that exact reason. They were all painted at the same time, but because it was just, it had a chemical reaction to the ABS paint, and therefore started melting through the plastic, or through the paint itself. But painted all of the white parts red, painted all of the blue parts down here. I said red. Painted the red parts white, painted the blue parts white down here on the leg. I did use two different whites. I used a really nice pure white, which is kind of a gloss, and then I used just the same matte white that I've used for a lot of other things. The foot, I don't know if you can really tell down here, so the front of the foot is matte white, and this is pure white. Back here, matte white. The bicep up here, matte white. The rest of this is pure white, and then the torso inside here, you know, matte white, bright white. And then I used Tamiya light gunmetal. Sorry, had a brain fart there. So all of the silver areas through here is all the Tamiya light gunmetal. Same thing with the thighs here and this part along here, and even the hands. Now I did have some Tamiya gloss aluminum. I've used that on a different kit we'll be looking at next time. But yeah, and then pretty much one of my favorite are grays right there. So that is gunship gray here for the joints, both on the knees and the elbow joints up here, and then inside there and the thighs, back of the legs, and then even, sorry, got some more silver down here, I forgot that. Even painted the wheels with that gunmetal, and then all the little bits you can sort of see are gold-like. I don't know how well it's showing up there. That's actually a Mr. Color metallic brass. Now I did have a bit of a mistake, and you know, I got no problems admitting when I screw up to you guys. You can sort of see still right through there. See a little bit of a harsh line. This one I did not mask off well enough while doing the silver, and I ended up with a ton of the silver over the white, and then had to paint back over it. But I really think it came out very nice. You know, I did the head like that. You know, did the inside of the face with the same gunmetal. Didn't painted the eyes the same way I've done in the past. Sorry, trying to raise up the camera. It was too tight. And because he's got red eyes, gave him that. Not that he's evil. He just has red eyes as offset. And then the same light blue, French blue that I used on Starscream and a couple other things. That's all of the light blue color here, all along here, all on the crest. The crest I hand painted. This I spray painted. Hand painted the little bits in here. You can see this is not very clean. These parts really did give me a little bit of trouble, and I figured out after the fact how the best way was to paint it. And then down here on the thighs, that actually came out really well using my new brush set, which actually was very nice. So it came out very nice. Just hit our little red dots every now and then just to break up some of that white. And you see the brass right there along the vents, just so that's not super dark. A little more red, back here on the back side, A little more red, both through here, on the bumper, on the back there. That's just to break up the white. Even a little bit of blue here and there, and then I screwed up right there. Try to weather over it. I very lightly weathered him, just did a little bit of dry brushing and then some dirt. Ultra Magnus doesn't like, at least in IDW continuity, doesn't really like to stay dirty. He takes pride a little too much in himself. All the flexibility and stuff is still here. He can still do all the things he needs to. I left the windshield the same color. I thought about actually painting over it with the blue, but I figured that would be a little much. But I digs it. And just for showing it off, there's the axe done in same blue. I did paint the gunmetal under that and then hit it with the blue just to get a little bit there and some light damage to it, because he does use it to smack some foos. And a lot of people say, well, he needs a hammer. Well, you know what? This one doesn't come with a hammer. I did try to design one. I think down the line, if they do an Ultra Magnus, which is Flame Toys, odds are they'll probably do it. They'll probably come with a hammer, but, you know, I did all these bits. At this point, I'm pretty used to this mold. In fact, like, I built it essentially without instructions. Mostly just needed to figure out which polycaps went where, which I did seem to have an issue with at one point in building. I kept putting they're very, very similar polycaps, but I kept putting them in the wrong spot. But let's go ahead and do quick comparisons. Here he is with Nemesis. He's basically his color opposite, who's now like really weighing the camera. And then the Prime we looked at earlier, which this one is 100% the same kit. Now this one, the polycaps are totally just weak as all get out, kind of falling apart. They're split in the hips, so his legs really do fall off. His arm doesn't necessarily hold the weight of the axe anymore. This one is painted so much, he's very, very stiff. He's been holding this position with the axe for quite a long time. Same thing with him. And I didn't have to I clearanced the joints to make sure that I didn't rub any paint off, which I did not do on this one, so he's got some paint rubbage. But also, he's not fully painted. He's only painted in the few spots, so that's going to be one of the main differences. Now, one reason I painted this guy as Ultra Magnus is that I was going to actually make a Shattered Glass Prime, and then they announced it. So I said, okay, I'm going to drop that project. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Seemed like a pretty easy recolor. I already had most of it. I just ordered the pure white, and then just got to work. I think it came out really good. I think it looks awesome. It definitely looks well with his brothers, so to speak. And then when the Shattered Glass gets here, that'll be even better. I'm glad that one is done. I did buy the paint I needed, though I think I might have to get at least one of these grays to kind of finish him off. You know, whenever I order that one. Right now he's still kind of in slight exclusive territory, but I think he's in stock at a couple places. But that'll be one of the next ones I build. And I do have another version of Prime coming out very soon. That will be the IDW version of Prime, which is pretty awesome. They do have a Nemesis Prime for that, and presumably there'll be a Shattered Glass version of that in the future as well. I'm going to pick that one up. Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to pick up the Nemesis when it does come out. Right now it's available pretty much at SDCC, which is going on, or was going on this past weekend, and they were selling it like crazy. But I'm going to pick that one up. I really dig that mold. I kind of like it. You guys will see it on the next review. But for right now, go ahead and give me a big old thumbs up if you like my Ultra Magnus custom. And if you have any questions, by all means, hit me up in the comments down below. If you want to help support the channel, you can go check out the Patreon. You can go check out the SHOKY stores as well, because every little bit definitely helps. Actually, I believe my patrons will probably see this before everybody else. And actually, they've seen a couple other projects that most people have not seen. But I will talk to you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, keep on building.